Um, whoa, what was that today? Man, I did not expect that for my Sunday evening. Oklahoma loses it 6-1 to Alabama, and yeah, just not great, not what you're looking for. I'm going to keep this short and sweet as Oklahoma loses game 2 to Alabama 6-1, and they were an out away from being shut out, actually, for the first time in 2,139 days, if my Google math on that is correct. Syd Barker saves the shutout streak with a 2-out home run, solo home run in the top of the 7th inning, so at least you have that, but it was one of the very, very few moments of the game today. And Patty Gasso, unfortunately, said it perfectly in the middle of this game when she was asked an open-ended question about her offense, and she said, quote, nothing, flat out nothing. And she said a little bit more than that she was disappointed by the approach and just kind of disappointed just overall offensively in this game. And it's easy to see why, because I think that we sit here on a Sunday night just very kind of surprised and, yeah, disappointed about, where was the overall fight? Where was that energy? Where was everything that you felt in the 7th inning of Saturday night's game? And that's the kind of the thing with softball, and certainly the thing with OU softball, is you don't have to be at the game to feel the energy or to feel like this team is on. You can almost always tell throughout the TV broadcast. I don't know if that's just a college softball thing in general, if it's an OU softball thing, but you can kind of always tell, like, if OU is like they're into it, they're rowdy, like they're where they need to be energy-wise, and you just didn't feel it really at all today throughout the entirety of the game. Not a great day offensively, certainly not a great day in the circle as well. Just a tough setback for this OU softball team, as Alabama controlled this thing really from the beginning stages of the game, and from the 2nd inning on, it really felt like there was no doubt that Alabama was going to win this softball game. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What was your biggest takeaway? Drop it in the comments. Not a fun one to talk about. The season is not over. The season is not lost. This team is not trash all of a sudden. Just come back and win the series tomorrow, and now that's what you're faced with. Okay, couple of different directions we can go here. I'm going to start with the offense, and of course we'll get to what happened in the circle. But as much as what happened with Kierston Deal, and even what happened with Isabella Smith might be the main things that we're going to see in the comments, the offense didn't give you much chance. The offense didn't give you any chance today with some lackluster pitching in the circle. What you had, just the 2 hits all day today. You had Cassidy Pickering had a double with 2 outs in an inning, and Syd Barker, had the solo home run in the top of the 7th inning. Outside that, just the approach wasn't great. The at-bats weren't great. You didn't hit the ball hard. And even the balls that you felt like, okay, that was hit pretty hard, it seemed to be right at an Alabama position player every single time. So you weren't finding gaps. You weren't hitting the ball hard. OU was off balance. Like, really, OU looked today like the offense that they looked like for the first 6 innings of yesterday's game. And we've played 14 innings in this series now, and OU has only scored in 2 of those 14 innings, which is a little bit alarming after coming off that offensive explosion against Oklahoma State on Wednesday night. But to me, just disappointing that the energy level just felt so low and things just felt kind of so down for this team. You're not used to that. You don't expect that. That's certainly not the standard with this program. And they didn't just come out with the aggressiveness today that you would like. So offensively, there's not really a whole lot to say. I mean, Maya Bland got a start. She didn't have the day that maybe she's had the past couple of games, but that's no shade thrown at Maya Bland, because nobody really offensively, outside 1 at-bat from Cassidy Pickering and 1 at-bat from Syd Barker, was very good today. Just not a whole lot to speak of offensively, and you really didn't even give yourself a whole lot of chances throughout this game as well. At least yesterday, when you were scoreless through the first 6 innings, you had an inning where 2nd and 3rd 1 outs, and you didn't come away with any runs there, but at least you were putting yourself in a position to score some runs. That wasn't really the case today. I mean, OU never really threatened Jocelyn Brisky. Give her a ton of credit. She was fantastic today for Alabama after giving up the big home run yesterday. Complete game, one earned run, just the 2 hits allowed. She issued just the 1 walk, and she had a couple of strikeouts. She was really good. And Bama as a team was really good. And sometimes, especially in this league, you got to tip your cap. But that was not Oklahoma's best. That was far from their best. And disappointing setback. Definitely a disappointing setback after yesterday's game. Kierston Deal was not great in her start today. Wish I could say that she was. Wish I could say that I've loved the way that she's responded after that Saturday win against Tennessee. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. And Kierston Deal's biggest issue today was the issue that's really plagued her, throughout the season and maybe the entirety of her career when she's really struggled. She fell behind too many hitters. Didn't attack the strike zone. One walk will lead to some things, or, getting behind the counts and having a groove of fastball and someone just turns on it, hits the ball hard somewhere. She's not doing herself really any favors by consistently getting down in counts. And she had to throw a ton of pitches, just an absolutely ton of pitches there in the second inning. She gets the loss today, 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 3 earned runs allowed. She has just the 1 walk and a couple of strikeouts, but far from her best. Far from her best for sure. And I was hoping that she would come back and really look the part after that huge win against Tennessee. And again, unfortunately, it hasn't been the case. And as we sit here on a Sunday night or a Monday afternoon or whenever you're watching this video, I guess my biggest concern right now, and again, I still ride with this team, still like what they can do this year, all that, just win the series tomorrow, and I think it's a successful weekend. But I hope that this isn't a team that is reliant on just one pitcher to win a big game. And if I'm being honest, that's kind of what it feels like right now. It feels, well, if you've got Sam Landry in the circle, you can beat anyone in the country. And you've beat a lot of really good teams so far this year when Sam Landry has been in the circle. But if Sam Landry's not in the circle, then, then it gets really tough. Then our odds of beating a really good team kind of feel like they go down pretty significantly. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not what we're talking about come postseason time. But if I'm just evaluating things right now, it does feel like it's a different team with Sam Landry in the circle than without Sam Landry in the circle. And I know that that's the case for a lot of teams and their ace pitcher, but it really feels like it drops off once Sam Landry's not there. So if she's going to start on Monday, you're going to need her to come back and throw another gem like she did on Saturday afternoon. But I just don't love that it feels right now that OU is so reliant on her in the circle really carrying them to a win. Isabella Smith, I think that's the first time we've seen her in SEC play in quite some time. Not a great outing by her. OU faced its biggest deficit of the season today. Isabella Smith just two-thirds of an inning, 2 hits allowed. She had the 1 earned run. She had a walk and 1 strikeout. Haven't seen her a while. It feels like an SEC play. She didn't come back and give you a lot of confidence. I mean, if there was a positive today in the circle, it's Audrey Lowry, and I know she gives up the home run, but she had 3 innings pitched, just the 1 hit, 2 runs allowed, but just the 1 earned run. She came in with bases loaded and no outs, and she got out of it only allowing just the 1 run, and that was on a sacrifice fly to right. So outside of the home run that she gave up, I thought Audrey Lowry was pretty good. And if I'm evaluating things right now with this team, I'm not really changing my mind or changing my opinion. I think Audrey Lowry's the second best option that you have. And frankly, I really don't see that changing here moving forward. I think that she's going to be your second best option. And I was a little surprised today that she didn't get a start. Maybe the plan was to, win this game with KD and put her in a start and see how she fares, and maybe that Audrey Lowry was going to start tomorrow or first in relief. I don't know. But I think Audrey Lowry needs to get more SEC innings. Not that I'm smarter than Patty Gasso. Far from it. She knows what she's doing. But I'm interested to see just kind of the usage of Audrey Lowry now moving forward, what it's going to look like in conference play, and even on Monday what that looks like for her. But it feels like she's the second best pitcher right now. But your pursuit of a strong number 2 pitcher continues, because we haven't seen Audrey Lowry in that big SEC start in nearly a month now. You almost got shut out. It would have been the first time in 2,139 days since you got shut out in a softball game. Last time was 2019 in the Women's College World Series, oddly enough, against Alabama. Montana Fouts pitched that game. But really, Patty said it right. Nothing, flat out nothing, talking about the offense. And she's disappointed. She was disappointed in the middle of the game. And I'm sure that will be relayed to the team, and I'm interested to see how they respond to that. Tomorrow's a big game. Tomorrow's a fascinating game to win the series. You know, the crowd's going to be electric there in Tuscaloosa, just like it was Sunday, just like it was Saturday. What do you got now with your backs against the wall, needing to go and win that series? Corey Hicks did come in late in the 6th inning. We'll see, what develops there moving forward. Maya Bland, like I said, got the start. Syd Barker, she got the big hit of the day. Interested to see if she kind of parlays that into maybe some more starts, whether that's in the outfield or even at first base. I know a lot of you want to see Barker play more, even if it's at first base. Outfield, you just don't care. You really want her in the lineup. But not a whole lot to say. Just a disappointing day. Energy level was down, just felt down. The only positive about today is Texas lost again, so they lost 2 of 3 to Tennessee. Tennessee goes to Norman, and they go to Austin and win series. So that's pretty impressive. Carlin Pickens had a very, very good outing against the Horns. So, how you guys feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Not a great day whatsoever, and got to bounce back tomorrow in much better. The energy level's got to be up. I hope the energy level is different. I hope we feel that even through the television sets across America. All of the softball fans. Big day tomorrow. Interested to see how they respond. We'll talk after the game tomorrow. As always, thank you for watching.